I want to just personal note, I have been attending these events for 2 years and note the enormous strength of your movement and how stronger it has become in the last 2 years, and the intensity and strength of the crowds. And I have noticed that the women are the loudest and most passionate. I want to make 6 points because the issues relating to humanitarian factors in Camp Liberty and Camp Ashraf, there are more experts that are able to speak about those conditions and the role of the United Nations. And I think we need to listen to that humanitarian component. In particular, I want to thank Colonel Wes Martin, who keeps us all every day informed, almost every day, of what is happening. The 6 points that I want to make, and Speaker Gingrich probably was most eloquent in his last intervention. First, the regime in Iran. It is intensifying suppression. Why? Because the economy is in bad shape. There's high unemployment. 40 million in Iran are under the poverty level. The only way the regime will to stay in power is by intensifying that repression. Secondly, the destructive role of the regime in the region. Every bad movement in the region, every terrorist, is supported by Iran. In Syria, a leadership there that is killing its own people, that is starving its own people. The strength that it gets from the regime in Iran is one of the last bastions of support that it has before it falls, and it will fall. And the spread of extremism and fundamentalism in Hamas and Hezbollah and Al-Qaeda and the security threats that are posed to all well-meaning and human rights-loving people in the Middle East threatens the very positive movements that have been caused by the Arab Spring. Number 3, the nuclear issue. How many times have we heard that Iran is ready to negotiate on the nuclear issue, that it's ready to halt its uranium enrichment, that it's ready to enter into negotiations with European countries and the United States? We hear this constantly, but then nothing ever happens. There's always an excuse. It's either the International Atomic Energy Agency or another international group that sees the reality of what Iran is doing, and that is its relentless drive to acquire nuclear weapons, and the Western world cannot allow that to happen. Number 4, policies on Iran in America, in Europe. More concessions, more dialogue is not the answer. But I think one thing is sure, that the best way to push for regime change is to unify and support democratic movements like the MEK, like you, like Madam Rajavi. Number 5, I think this regime change is feasible. The people of Iran want to change. And this is why I think this movement is very, very strong. Now, my last point, the recognition of the resistance. I believe that this is a serious movement because it has support, it has you, it has passion, but most importantly, it's a cause. It's a cause that I believe is defined by Madame Rajavi's 10 points, but it's human rights, it's democracy, separation of church and state, but a deep, abiding faith in human beings. It is peace-loving and a foreign policy that respects the point of view of others. It is a movement that most importantly respects women. And if you look at the Middle East, if you look at the Arab Spring, if you look at Africa, if you look at Afghanistan, the countries that have the most trouble, the ones that are considered the most repressive but eventually fall, are those that violate the rights of women. And what we see here in this movement is a solid identification and solid support for the importance of the respect for women. So after 2 years, and seeing the growth of the movement, seeing the MEK delisted, seeing how louder you have become in your passion, because I think you think and know that the end is near and that victory will be achieved. Thank you very much.